presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are San Diego.
When you're young, the game of baseball speaks to you about life. It teaches you to compete, how to deal with failure, all the while allowing you to dream. Like your heroes, you wear the uniform with pride. You're willing to get it dirty, and even mom doesn't mind. You love your glove, you know it won't let you down. And when your hands take a firm grip, you just know that the next swing will deliver a homer. On this opening day in baseball, not much is different. Anything is possible. When you're young, you open your heart to the game, and the beauty of baseball is you are forever young.
Oh my, it is a kid's game, all the more accentuated on opening day. Many youngsters here in a sellout crowd, but perfect San Diego day. 2016 begins with the National League West rivals, the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Diego Padres. And good afternoon and welcome to the new season, everyone. The great Hall of Fame catcher Roy Campanella said, to play baseball, you need a lot of little boy in you. It was true of a great major leaguer. It's true of all of us with the dreams we had as kids and the dreams we have now as fans. It's a generational game, and these kids will become teens, and teens adults, and adults parents, and they're going to pass this game on to the next generation. It's in our DNA. It's in my DNA. Actually, I had little choice before I could say the word baseball. My parents made certain I was fully equipped to appreciate this game. And so on Kids Day, opening day, we welcome one of the biggest kids I've ever known of our grand 21st year. Here we go again.
I'm so blessed to be sitting next to you, Professor, for year number 7. But I caught the baseball bug before I could play organized baseball. I was 5 and 6 years old. My dad coached. I was his bat boy. Being around the guys, being at the ball yard, it's in my DNA as well. It's a celebration. It never gets old. A lot of smiles around the ballpark this afternoon.
Other than the World Series and playoffs, nothing like opening day. So we're going to sit down as if we each have a young boy or girl next to us. We're going to help teach them the game, keep score, and hopefully the Padres can come up with a tough win, and Tyson Ross will get a thrill of his own.
Here's a kid who's had dreams of being a big leaguer ever since he was growing up in the Bay Area. Look at him with the Athletics uniform on. The A's, yes, he pitched for them, but today, a special treat for the right-handers. Pitching opening day. Last season, he answered the bell 33 times. Win-loss record under 500, but he always kept them in games, kept the ball in the ballpark. So this is a big treat for everybody here in San Diego, and especially the kid who had a dream, like everybody watching today who's a kid, Tyson Ross.
And he wants to beat the Dodgers for the first time and beat Clayton Kershaw this afternoon. So let the dreams begin. A new season is here. The Padres and the Dodgers. That first page of memories will be filled in today.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Myers will watch that one go all the way.
Well, what better way to start a season here in San Diego? To draw the 3-time defending National League West champions, the Dodgers, and their brilliant pitcher, arguably one of the best in many generations, Clayton Kershaw. Sellout crowd, perfect baseball afternoon as the Padres trying to get off on that winning first start. They've lost their last 6 games against the Dodgers, who dominated them last year, 14 wins, and the Padres managed only 5. The new look uniforms with the yellow piping added to the Padre blue in this all-star season, the all-star colors, as fans still settling in, and the Padres about to take the field.
And just like the fans who were spinning through the turnstiles earlier today, the men in the yellow, blue, and whites, Tyson Ross himself anxious to get out on that field. There's a little kid in all of us, and you see a lot of little kid in all those Padres waiting to take the field here for 2016.
Now you can tell not because the major league players are jumping around jubilantly like a little league dugout, but when it gets really quiet in the clubhouse, you know that they're feeling the importance of the moment.
Everybody's getting their game face on, and the bell is about to ring here for 2016.
And we're pleased to have joined us here on Fox Sports San Diego. We'll take you all the way to the playoffs as the Padres take the field. Tyson Ross earning the honor of being the opening day pitcher. And here's the Dodger lineup that he'll face, brought to you by Hyundai. Veteran Chase Utley will lead it off with the rookie Corey Seager batting second. Justin Turner has wore out everyone in spring training at 500, and he's a tough out against the Padres, as you know. And then the great Adrian Gonzalez, San Diego native, hits cleanup. Yasiel Puig, what kind of Puig will we see? The one that tore it up as a rookie, or the one that disappointed last year in an injury-filled season? Veteran Carl Crawford in left field hit 6th. Jock Peterson, lots of home runs, many strikeouts last year in his rookie year. Veteran A.J. Ellis behind the plate, and Clayton Kershaw, the left-hander, on the mound.
And the scouting report for right-hander Tyson Ross is brought to you by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Yeah, he's got some heat, and hopefully he'll cool off those Dodger bats. We know that he's a power pitcher, movement galore on all his pitches. And you know what, Dick? Carpe diem. Seize the day for Tyson Ross. Go home with a W on opening day. You've earned that right, Tyson Ross. Getting the rock on opening day.
And here's the Padres defense that will support him, brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. In the outfield, Melvin Upton in left, the newly acquired John Jay from St. Louis in center, and Matt Kemp in right field. On the infield, Solarte and Ramirez will guard the left side of the infield, with Spangenberg at second and Will Myers moving from the outfield to first base. Derek Norris behind the plate for the 28-year-old Tyson Ross.
I just got chills watching Derek Norris throw down that ball to second base. That means the bell's about to ring. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, what happens from here on out, the numbers you put up go on the back of your bubblegum card.
Only an ex-ball player would really appreciate that. Julie Alexandria will be joining us shortly as we are set for the first pitch of the 2016 Padre and Dodger season. Chase Utley from Long Beach Poly High School, a high school program that sent Tony Gwynn to San Diego State and to Hall of Fame recognition here as a Padre, Mr. Padre. He's 37 now, Utley, former Phil, 6-time All-Star, and the first pitch of the season is just off the corner. Utley to be followed by Seager and Turner. Along with the players themselves and fans and announcers, how about the 2 new managers? Dave Roberts, skipper now of the Los Angeles Dodgers, their youngest manager since 1954, when a fellow named Walter Olson took over the reins of the Dodgers, and of course one game, an interim managerial game as a Padre. And Andy Green for the Padres as Utley fouls it back.
And we know Dave Roberts all those years in a Padre uniform as a coach and in the front office, and no one more appreciative and respecting the game like Dave Roberts. Wearing the number of one of his idols growing up, Maury Wills.
Yeah, well, Wills, the premier base dealer, and that was Roberts' fort as well. Utley hit .304 on the spring with a home run. Takes it in the dirt. That's that sharp slider. And right off the bat, Andy Green, he learned of this in spring training. He loves the shift.
Was in the skipper's office this morning. He was going over the lineup, and when they announced that Utley was leading off, he goes, huh, looks like we're going to be shifting early. And there you have it.
Second baseman Spangenberg in shallow right field. That one just misses. Gary Cedarstrom, crew chief, a little tight on the strike zone early.
Well, it's worth another look. This is where a pitcher wants to live all day long. Location and movement. Pitch number 5. Looked like it caught the strike zone.
Looper into left center field. Jay can't get there. Backed up by left fielder Upton, and his throw is high and over second baseman Spangenberg's head. So Utley able to flare one into left center field away from John Jay, and the Dodgers have their leadoff man on second base.
Well, when a pitcher doesn't get a call, you have to erase that from your memory bank and try to battle, and battling is Chase Utley. Looks like he got a cutter in. He wanted to backdoor that pitch, but he fought it off. Left-handed back, slicing away from Jay, who was playing on the second base side of second base. A tough run for John Jay. He's going to make a lot of those plays during the season. Just didn't happen to catch up to that one.
That brings up the 22-year-old phenom Corey Seager, #1 draft pick of the Dodgers. They feel that he's going to be the shortstop for Los Angeles for the next decade. Came up briefly late last year and impressed, hitting .337 and just under 100 at bats. Just 22 years. He'll be 22 on April 27th. There's his brother, a top draft pick of the Seattle Mariners, a #1 selection, Kyle Seager.
I'd like to talk to scouts who watch young players at the big league level, especially last year for Seager, and they say he's a guy beyond his years, like he's been playing 4, 5, 6 years. He's got great baseball instinct, got a good swing, battles at the plate, and a darn good shortstop to boot.
A ball and a strike. Left field and hit well. Upton gets a late break on that ball, and it's over his head all the way to the wall. Utley will score easily, and Seager announces he's in the new season with a ringing double to left. 1-0 LA. Upton didn't appear to pick up the ball off the bat. Of course, that's a shadow field here late afternoon in San Diego.
That ball jumped off the bat of Seager. Gave it a good ride, and tells you something. The guy will let the ball travel a little bit. He takes his high breaking ball and stays enough on top of it to prevent it from popping up to the left side. Gave this ball a pretty darn good ride.
Brings up third baseman Justin Turner. Had an absolutely blistering spring training mark, hitting .500. There are his numbers from last year, .294. And he just terrorized Padres pitching all year long. It seemed he could hit San Diego pitching blindfolded.
It seemed like Turner was up every single inning, and he did some damage, did it not? You're absolutely right there, Dick.
31 years of age from Cal State Fullerton. Couple of doubles, and the Dodgers have an early 1-0 lead. 93 on that last fastball from Tyson Ross. The Dodgers have done something that rarely occurs in baseball, to win your division, get into the playoffs 3 consecutive years. You forget that they have dominated the National League West. Ground ball right side by Myers. Spangenberg backs it up and throws him out. Good range by young Spangenberg to take a possible dribbler out of right field. To third goes Seager, and that'll bring up Gonzalez.
Good job by Tyson Ross getting over there, because Will Myers was out of the play. He committed to his right. Myers to his right. Now he's out of the play. He can't get back, so the long legs of Tyson Ross, he becomes the first baseman and then checks the runner with fewer than 2 outs. Holding at third.
Adrian Gonzalez, remember the start he had last year in the opening series against the Padres in Los Angeles, hit 5 home runs. Still a lot of San Diego in the man. He still lives here and supports so many charities here in our fine city. Adrian is just 10 home runs away from 300 in his career.
Infield playing in a little bit. Now they're sprinting in.
Swing and a miss at the breaking ball.
We saw that with Tony La Russa when he was managing the St. Louis Cardinals. Just before the pitch, the infielders would crash in. Well, Tony La Russa went from St. Louis, Hall of Fame, kind of sat out a little bit. And now with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and where does that lead you to? Andy Green, third base coach of the Arizona Diamondbacks, incorporating that play that we just saw by the defense.
Gonzalez leading the Dodgers last year in home runs and RBIs. Takes it low, 1-1. Five-time an All-Star, Gonzalez. 4 times Gold Glove. As young manager Dave Roberts looks on. Gets away, but not far enough for Seager to scamper home. Last year against San Diego, the first 5 games, .591 with incredible 6 home runs in 5 games. Then he cooled off second half of the season as the Padres didn't give him much to hit.
Yeah, that's great adjusting by the Padres pitching staff. No doubt about that. Oh, my goodness. Home runs in 5 times in the team's first 3 games, a record. Oof.
Up and in. And Ross falls behind 3-1. Clayton Kershaw already 4-5 before he takes the hill. Has a run in his back pocket and a chance for another.
Yeah, I was just going to say, keep it at 1 here. Why it's so important for Tyson Ross to work that grounder and keep that runner at third base. Leave Seager stranded out there.
Well, that's going to fall in center field for a base hit, and Seager can trot home. It's 2-0 as Gonzalez delivers. Surprise, surprise. '94 runs batted in a year ago to lead the team.
Adrian Gonzalez, we all know him. He is a player that lets the game come to him. He doesn't rush things. Nice, easy swing. And you're not going to get away with many mistakes like that. He wanted to bury that ball in. It leaked up and away, and Adrian just hit it exactly where it was pitched.
So Tyson Ross able to get only 1 out from the first 4 hitters and a couple of runs on the board for the Dodgers. And here's Yasiel Puig. And a fastball strike at 94. So Puig, sensational 3 years ago as a rookie, 319. Then he fell to 296 last year, an injury-plagued season, 255. Late swing there.
Bad looking hack there. Great location from Tyson Ross, but that looked like all arms, all upper body from Puig.
Well, the late afternoon start on opening day does no favor for the hitters, as that shadow now growing halfway between the mound and home plate.
Yes,
and he goes around. That's 2 away. First strikeout for Ross. That breaking ball especially tough to pick up with that pitcher in the sun and the batter in the shadows of the batter's box.
Out of the hand, it looks like a fastball. So with Puig up there, he will swing at bad pitches. You don't have to throw him a good pitch. Called strike. Bad hack. Uno, dos, adios. Back to the dugout for Yasiel Puig.
Left field covered now in shadows, and of course that tough one across the middle of the diamond as Carl Crawford, the veteran left fielder, steps in. He's had good success against Ross. They're a 265 mark last year. He had some injuries, but against Ross, 9 for 18 in his career. Gonzalez with an RBI single at first base. That's a strike. Utley with a bloop double. Seager with a double to left center. Drives in the first run, and Gonzalez checks in Seager with his single up the middle.
Nice slider. Yeah, I know the boys at the desk before the game on the pregame show talked about the 10 Dodgers on the DL. Well, I think it's something that the Dodgers are really hoping is that the guy at the plate and that man on the left, Chase Utley, stay healthy. Hey, they're long in the tooth now, right? They've been around a long time. Can they stay healthy?
Utley now 37. Swing and a miss and a couple of strikeouts for Russ, who was 6th in the National League with 212 last year. Not as many as that man. Clayton Kershaw, the 3-time Cy Young Award winner, arguably one of the best, if not the best pitcher in baseball. Presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Jerome's, where Jerry's price is the lowest price every day. By Petco, your complete pet store. And by Kaiser Permanente, arrive. Yeah, it was great to have the leapfrogs as part of the opening ceremonies and the flyover and the dramatic singing of the national anthem with the unfurling of our American flag. All part of opening day as the Padres come up down an early 2 runs facing Clayton Kershaw. It's John Jay starting things for San Diego. Jay's first at bat as a Padre, and he takes a strike. Had a good spring, hit .309. Uncharacteristically, a lot of power. He had 5 home runs this spring. He saw only 1 home run all last year with the Cardinals, as he was limited with several injuries. Kershaw, now 28 years of age, winning the Cy Young in 2011, 13, and 14. And his ERA, with 114 wins in his career, of 2.43 for his career, is the lowest in 96 years for someone to have pitched that many innings.
Dick, you make a great point, because pitchers like this don't come around so often. So for this generation of baseball fans, you are watching one special pitcher. There's no doubt about that. Can he be beaten? Oh yeah, he can. But you know what? Over the course of time, he has been nails.
Against the Padres, 12-6. They've gotten to him a half dozen times. And usually it's a 2-1 win, or you don't get many runs off him. Luxury of pitching with an early 2-run advantage, Kershaw.
This is where the Padres are going to have to battle. He had John Jay 0-2, now 2-2. Big pitch coming up right here, 3-2.
And he gets him to chase outside. And he opens his season with a strikeout. Here's the Padres lineup, brought to you by Toyota, with John Jay with a strikeout. Derek Norris to follow. Matt Kemp is 2 for 5 against Kershaw. Will Myers hits cleanup. Alexei Ramirez from the White Sox hits 5th. Jan Solarte at third base in the 6th hole. Then Melvin Upton, Corey Spangenberg will bat 8th, and Tyson Ross. Ross actually is 2 for 5 against Kershaw.
Yeah. Stay hot.
So, method in the madness in our pick the stick from Julie Alexandria. She picked Tyson Miles. Huh?
Interesting pick.
Derek Norris. Lots of doubles and 14 home runs last year. There's that off-speed breaking ball, 73 miles an hour. Kershaw likes to keep the hitters off balance with that slow toss. Been interesting to follow his career in terms of the use of the curveball. Outside with a fastball that didn't throw many when he began his career, but each year he's gone to the curveball more and more and more.
It's a very effective pitch, and one pitch he started throwing more of this spring training also was the changeup.
High fly ball slicing into the right field corner. Puig to the warning path, and there's 2 away.
And the scouting report for the guy who's won an MVP, 3-time Cy Young, 5-time All-Star, Gold Glove. Other than that, the guy stinks. Master control. He can throw pitches where he wants to, anytime, any pitch. And all pitches above average, Dick. You mentioned the curveball. He's got an above average changeup. Spot the fastball. He cut into the right-handed hitters. That's the scouting report. Brought to you by UC San Diego Health.
Matt Kemp finished last year with 23 home runs, and that's a tremendous last 4 months because he had only 1 home run the first 2 months. April and May, only 1 home run. Hard to believe. Good spring. Led the Padres at .393 this spring. A couple of home runs.
Don't see the right side shift, or the left side rather, with the right-handed hitter very often.
And there's the ground ball into the shift. Deep at the shortstop spot is Seager to throw him out. And Kershaw retires the Padres in order. 2-0 LA. Going to the top of the second, and our Fox Sports San Diego roster bolstered for 2016. Here's our newest addition. Welcome, Julie Alexandria.
Thanks so much, Dick. Well, Andy Green said he was incredibly overwhelmed by the outpouring of support in texts and phone calls he got from guys he used to play with, mentors as well. But the one that really hit home, that would be a picture that was texted from his daughter that said, "Cheering for you, Daddy." He said it brought tears to his eyes. He said he intends to take in everything that this opening day has to offer, but that the minute the game starts, he's ready to go to work.
Yeah, you bet that. Intensified A+ is Andy Green, 38 years of age, out of Lexington, Kentucky, and the University of Kentucky.
That's one good egg right there, Mr. Enberg.
Very smart good egg. A swing and a miss by Jock Peterson. Peterson As a rookie a year ago, clubbed 26 home runs to tie Chris Bryant for the rookie lead. He also struck out 170 times. He makes contact. He can drive it a long way. Just 23 years of age. And he looks at strike 3, and that's 3 punch outs in a row for Tyson Ross. Well, there are 5 new managers as we open this 2016 season. New managers in terms of being in new places. Dusty Baker takes over in Washington, and Don Mattingly goes from the Dodgers to Miami. Dave Roberts, 5 years coach with the Padres, now in LA. Andy Green from Arizona takes over the reins here in San Diego, and Scott Service up in Seattle.
Boy, when one piece falls, everything's moving around like a chess game, huh?
Well, it's an interesting carousel. Get off the pony and get on the other side. Somebody else loves you. If you don't like me here, take a good look at me over there. A.J. Ellis, well, actually grew up and went to high school in the same Kentucky city as Andy Green, Lexington. Veteran, will be 35 on Saturday.
You know what also is refreshing about Andy Green? He had a pregame interview with the skipper, and when you sit down with a manager and he says to you, you know what, Mud, you can ask me anything you want. Nothing's off limits. You got to respect that and love that, don't you?
Well, that's dream world. 2-2 now to Ellis.
And also what that tells me, Dick, is that it shows me that the guy's accountable. And he will talk about things that don't go. It's easy to talk about things that go your way all the time, right? But when things go south a little bit, he's willing to answer that, and I really respect that, admire that.
You know, that you don't see that too often in any sport. You get a little testy and edgy when you ask him a question that might refer to the fact that their team didn't play well, or they may have made a managerial mistake. And he proved himself in the minor leagues at each stop. He was manager of the year.
Yep.
Tony La Russa, the Hall of Fame manager with 3 big league clubs. Fly ball to right. Kemp up into the sunshine of this day, makes the catch. La Russa called Andy Green. He's going to be a star.
And you can see Andy Green a lot on MLB.TV Premium. The #1 live streaming sports service delivers everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. It includes a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Operators are standing by. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Kershaw with 2 outs, bases empty. He had 9 hits last year. Came out at 153. Gives you some pretty good at bats. And makes contact here, and Myers will do the job himself. And Tyson Ross bounces back, a 1-2-3 inning.
I'm mic'd up, so don't say anything dumb.
You look good, though.
Thanks.
I mean, like, what are your thoughts right now? Opening day.
Dude, this is the biggest day of the year, dude.
You seriously wear those socks?
Yeah.
During the game?
Yeah.
Those are the worst socks I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
On a professional athlete, yeah.
Well, the good thing is you don't ever see them, so all that matters is the comfort level, right?
Are they good luck socks?
Will Myers consenting to wear a microphone during batting practice. That was bullpen coach Doug Bockler with a little fashion commentary on the socks of Myers.
I wonder if they were Argyle. Were they striped? Were they a solid color?
Yeah,
like you said, the breeches are so long and baggy, you really can't tell. So stay tuned. We'll try to find out.
Myers to lead it off here in the second. And Kershaw sends it on the outside corner. Myers, after a very slow start this spring, started 2 for 25, and then he ripped the ball the rest of the way and raised his average up to 273 on the Cactus League schedule. 0-2 the count.
Seems like with Clayton Kershaw, just when you expect the fastball straight, you get a little wrinkle. When you're expecting the wrinkle, he'll throw you the fastball. Tough to really guess on.
That one flared foul. Interesting, with 2 strikes on Myers, Utley, who was in the shift on the shortstop side, moves over to his normal position, figuring that Myers isn't going to try to swing for power, but for contact.
There's Utley.
A ball, 2 strikes. You know, they throw away that baseball if it even looks at the dirt. They
That's
throw it out of play,
unbelievable,
right?
isn't it?
That would have really killed you, wouldn't it? Not to have that little rough spot. You know, that little
You
dirt
could do a
spot.
lot of things with that baseball. It's got a little scuff on it. Did I just say that?
A little scuff.
Yeah.
Pie 2-2.
You know, interesting article last week about Clayton Kershaw and the shifts. Remember how he didn't like the shifts certain times? And Dick, I know you can chime in on this because you saw it back in the day. Remember the day when the pitchers would stand on the mound and position guys like Gaylord Perry?
Yeah.
I tell you what, and this is just one man's opinion. This is me. If Clayton Kershaw is on the mound, all bets are off. I'm putting the binders away. You know why? That guy proves that he can pitch at this level consistently for a long, long time. If he wants to direct the traffic and defend the way he wants to, have at it, big boy. That's my thought.
3 balls, 2 strikes after jumping ahead 2 strikes on Myers.
And that's not a knock on Dave Roberts and the coaching staff, because they bust their tail just like the San Diego Padres staff. You should have seen them buried in their offices today going over work.
Swing and a miss, and that's the second strikeout for Clayton Kershaw. The Dodgers defense today brought to you by Renovation Realty. And here's how they're aligned. In the outfield, Crawford and Puig at the corners with Peterson in center field. Around the horn, Turner, Seager, Utley at second, and Adrian Gonzalez at first base.
A feather in the cap for the Dodgers last year, first in Major League Baseball in defense. I tell you what, you got a pitching staff and a guy like Clayton Kershaw. That's tough to beat a club like that.
Yeah. Why do you win by 8 games, full games over San Francisco? As a 2-hopper off the bat of Alexei Ramirez, and he's out. And 2 quick outs here in the second. 5 in a row for Kershaw as we look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, Professor, I know you've got the red marking pen out, and to grade me this year, the keys of the game, and I thought about it all off season. So jump on Kershaw early in the count. What I mean by that, because you get behind on this guy, he can wipe you away with his breaking stuff and the fastball. So swing early, hope you get a knock. Squeaky clean defense for the Padres. No miscues, no free outs for the Dodgers.
Jan Solarte backs off inside fastball at 94. So the Dodgers formula last year, obviously a great deal of talent, terrific pitching, especially when they lined up Kershaw and Greinke back to back against you. But they had the best defense, the least errors of any major league team, and they hit more home runs than any major league team.
It's a good formula.
2-0 to Solarte. 270 hitter a year ago.
You know what's amazing also about this Dodger team? The kryptonite last year was the road. They only won 37 games on the road. They lost 44. All their winning was at home on their way to the Western title.
It was the best home record in all of baseball, 55 and 26. Did not go, and the count is now 3-1. First time Kershaw behind that deep in the count.
Let's take a look from the side, and I'll be honest with you. Oh, no, he checked it. You heard it here first. He checked his swing.
I heard it. And ball 4. And the Padres have their first base runner. The way Solarte put on the brakes there, taking off that shield on his shin at guard, I thought maybe plate umpire Cedarstrom had punched out a late strike, but he's aboard. And here's Melvin Upton.
Only 42 walks issued last year in 232 innings for Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah, to put that in perspective, you have to go way, way back to find somebody who struck out as many as 300 and walked less than 50.
Right.
Foul back. He's got a good move. And a soft line drive to the shortstop, Seager, for the final out. And we go to the third at Petco. Dodgers lead by 2.
Brought to you by Ram Trucks. Well, we heard about it a lot last year. What are we going to focus on? The slider of Tyson Ross. 7 feet to 2.2 feet. Look at the drop, look at the tilt, look at the bad swings. He threw it 42.2% of the time. He led all Major League Baseball pitchers among qualified starters, and the average to quantify it was 22.3%. He threw it a lot. There were a lot of swings and misses, catching guys guessing. One of the tools in the toolbox for the opening day starter, Tyson Ross. It is one heck of a pitch.
Rocky start for Ross with a couple of doubles and an RBI single and an early 2-0 lead, but he settled down since, retired the last 5, 3 by strikeout. And here's Utley, who opened the game with that bloop double to left center. Just to go back to underline what kind of pitcher Kershaw is every year, including last year when we mentioned that it struck out over 300 and walked less than 50. Oh, he's the only left-handed pitcher in Major League history to do that. Strike out 300 and walk less than 50. Isn't that something?
On his way to the Hall of Fame, he's put up some great numbers, only being 28 years old and into his 8th year at the big league level. Consistency is his middle name, no doubt.
So Chase Utley nicked by the pitch, and he's aboard to lead off the third. Seager
whacked an RBI double to the base of the left center field wall. Knocked in a run in the first, and then later scored on Adrian Gonzalez single. Oh, he takes a good swing, doesn't he? Yeah, the Dodgers have injury problems to start the season. They're wary of the fact that there's some age. Adrian Gonzalez and Chase Utley, that right side of the infield, they're not spring chickens, but they do have the youth in Seager and Peterson, who are just in their early 20s, and a tremendous farm system. Many feel they have more good players than any other major league team in the minors.
A lot to shoulder for a youngster. The first rookie to start at shortstop, Seager, since 1991. That was Jose Offerman. It's been that long.
The 1-strike pitch. Ooh, up and in.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Wants it down and away a little bit, but gets away from him just a tad. And Seager doing the right thing, showing his name and number to the pitcher. That's the way you turn when you got a heater coming right at your noggin.
The trouble with the hitters at times, and they in part create it themselves, is on a pitch like that, they're thinking the ball's going to be away and they're stepping out to go get it, and they step right into that pitch, and that can be disastrous. 2 balls and a strike. Utley at first on the hit pitch. In his younger days, a definite threat to steal, Utley.
Infield swung around to the right side a little bit, so with that breaking ball, Seager more susceptible to hit the ball that way. So got to be heads up.
Trickles foul. Today's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean, Crisp, Coors Light.
Hey, some good looking facts, huh? 4 earned runs or fewer. It's a pretty good list right there. Greg Maddux, Hall of Famer. Vida Blue. Gosh, what a great athlete. Ron Bryant back with the Giants.
And Jake Beebe.
Yep.
Padre. Those were his Padre years. 2-2. Check swing, and he went. Strike 3, and that for Tyson Ross is number 4. You'll see a lot of those check swings. That slider.
We talked about it. Out of the hand, it looks like a fastball, and you commit. You get to the point of no return. You cannot slow up that shillelagh. That is a punch out. Out of the hand, looks like a fastball, ends up like a slider. Looks like a pump, feels like a sneaker.
Now, how do you know about pumps?
Don't get me started.
I guess that's a little discussion for later. The batter, Justin Turner, bounced to second his first time.
See him try to inside out that ball, Dick. Huge hole on that right side, and Turner, sure, you hit him on the ground and you can double him up at first base. But it looked like he really tried to spank that ball. There's a huge hole right through that right side.
Myers occupied at first, holding on Utley, and Spangenberg swung over near second. And he hits it the other way, a liner into the left field corner. Utley wheels around second to third, and they're waving him home. And here comes a throw, and he is out of there.
He should be out anyway because Utley went for the catcher. Did you see that? He diverted his line towards the plate and tried to go into Norris. That's what I saw.
Under the new rule, that would be an automatic out as of last year. But let's check it again. But a terrific relay. Let's not overlook the fact the Padres executed that relay par excellence.
This is worked on day in and day out of spring training. Sliding on the fair side, it's a great grab, and Great tag by Derek Norris. He gave the lane, but it looked like Utley tried to go for him a little bit with his legs. And the bottom line is he is out. Nice job, guys, on the relay.
7-6-2 on the relay with Ramirez making the throw. A double for Turner. He winds up at second with 2 outs, and Gonzalez, who lined a single, RBI single in the first inning. And another base hit. Just flares it over the shortstop's head, and around third comes Turner to score. 3-0. Adrian Gonzalez comes back to blister the Padres again. Goodness.
We talk about one-dimensional hitters, guys that are just swinging from there behind and hoping for the long ball. Adrian Gonzalez does both. You can see the reaction from Alexei Ramirez, always shrugging his shoulders a little bit like, my goodness. Didn't hit it on the screws, he just fights it off, finds the garden spot out there in left center field for the RBI.
So 2 times up, 2 singles, 2 runs driven in, and the Dodgers boost their lead to 3-0. Puig struck out the first time. And it's all a matter of timing, and I'm certainly not privileged to know what their talk up on Mahogany Row with the Padres ownership and A.J. Preller about player moves, but I just have this hunch. The ball gets away in the dirt, and on to second goes Gonzalez. I have this hunch that if the current ownership and management were in place when Adrian Gonzalez was a San Diego Padre, he'd still be a San Diego Padre. What a shame that one of our own has wandered away, and he certainly has punished his old team, and he's at it again today. Puig with a runner in scoring position now on the wild pitch.
Remember last at bat when he struck him out on 3 pitches, he didn't have to throw him a strike. Some bad swings.
Late on pulling the trigger there, too.
That front side really flying open, exposing himself. No bat speed at all. That was a good old-fashioned sinker down the middle of the plate as well.
Still young, 25, this Cuban. In the dirt, blocked by Norris. 2-2. Well, look in the colors, you know, the yellow being added to the uniform, the all-star colors, and even to the mask of Derek Norris.
I like it. When you're in the big leagues, you get some pretty darn cool equipment. He's got the yellow cage where that's Dan Fouts like. Remember the blue helmets with the yellow cage?
Good call. Well, number 14 up there in Oregon might be smiling right now. He follows these Padres, you know. Outside, 3-2.
I think of Dan Fouts with the yellow cage, blue helmet. I think bombs away. Hopefully a lot of bombs away this year for Derek Norris off that bat of his, and a handful of other Padres.
Full count to Puig. 2 outs, and Gonzalez perched at second with another RBI. And ball 4. Tyson Ross with his first walk today. He's hit a batter. He led the National League and walks a year ago.
Well, our first look at Darren Balsley and a visit to the mound, and that means he's on the clock. Shot clock down to 15.
That clock is over in the left field corner at the edge of the auxiliary scoreboard.
Now you figure you got 5 or 8 seconds to where, you know, a couple of pats on the back, go get him, big boy. Hey, working ahead, and then some instruction before you head home. So, you know, really you got like 14 seconds before the old, you know, greeting. Hey, how you doing?
I like it. I like the 30 seconds.
I do too.
You know, that slow stroll all the way to the mound and take 30 seconds to get there. They're speeding up things. You might be asking, well, what's the penalty if he exceeds the 30? Well, the umpire can go out and he hurries you along. There's no penalty within the game, but you might get a letter from the commissioner's office that suggests that you owe them some money
the next day if you continue to violate the 30 seconds. So far, so good.
Yeah.
In the spring training, it seemed to work every time. Here's Carl Crawford, struck out his first time. 2 on, 2 out, a run home here in the third. Up the middle, 2-hopper to Ramirez. He'll take the easy play. Inning comes to an end, but another Dodger run, and it's 3-0.
All customers can get a free, you heard it here first, free season-long subscription to MLB.TV Premium. Go to T-Mobile.com/MLB to sign up now and catch every moment on America's fastest-growing LTE network. You saw the T-Mobile deck out there in right field.
How much was that?
Free.
Oh, wow.
So how many do you want? If it's free?
Take 3. That's the broadcaster's motto. Man, if it's free, take 3. Padres looking for their first hit against Kershaw. Corey Spangenberg leads it off here in the bottom of the third. Tyson Ross and then John Jay to follow. Spangenberg, a fine spring, 354. Led the team in base hits with 23. That's in there. 1 and 2. 9 base hits by bunt a year ago. That was among the league leaders. Led the Padres. Spangenberg. And a slow roller to second. Upley fields and throws him out. Brings up Tyson Ross. Big pitcher had a good season with the bat last year. He hit 250, 6 hits and 32 at bats. And this is really an interesting statistic. They measure the velocity of the ball on contact off the bat, and Tyson Ross averaged 93.5 miles an hour on contact. That was 17th best in baseball.
Better than Yoenis Cespedes, Josh Donaldson, the MVP, Paul Goldschmidt. Come on now. Oh yeah, Tyson Ross. What's that tell you? Great athlete, good hand-eye coordination, consistently hitting the sweet spot on the bat.
I guess number 1 had to be Giancarlo Stanton, right?
Oh, that's a good call.
I think his exit speed was 155.
That guy could put a hurting on a baseball.
So Ross, a strong man, and you remember he threw out his shoulder with a base hit in Dodger Stadium a couple of years ago. Had to adjust his swing. Doesn't take that real big cut, but he is. Now this is a very big human being. He's 6'6" and 250 pounds, Ross, and he's well muscled. He's in terrific condition.
Hey, Julie Alexandria picked him and picked the stick today. Right out of the gate, going with the starting pitcher.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, I like that. She takes a chance right off the bat, goes with the pitcher. Yeah, you better keep a close eye on her. That is in there, strike 3. 3rd strikeout. As Clayton Kershaw has gone through the Padre lineup, allowing only 1 base runner, Solarte's walk. And to the top of the order, John Jay.
Well, another horrible day here in San Diego.
What are we going to do about this?
Unbelievable.
You know, my wife is back in Boston. Drove from New York to Boston today to visit with our daughter.
Have to put the chains on? Yeah.
Snow. I said, well, we're suffering here too. I'm not sure it's going to hit 70 today.
Did they get any accumulation of snow back there? How many inches?
Yeah, they got, I don't know how it accumulated, but you're not used to driving in snow in April in San Diego.
Because we got 3 inches of sand just west of us a little bit. Horrible. Coronado reporting 4 inches of sand.
Really?
Pacific Beach 3.
Yeah. That silicone, you get that glare from the sun till you get a double hit on the sunshine. Sorry about that, huh? 1-1 to Jay. Two balls and a strike. Third base umpire Adrian Johnson waves it off. Jay and Kershaw were part of a contingent of 5 players. In December, they visited Cuba, remember, before President Obama?
You visited there a couple years ago.
Yeah. Oh, it's a fantastic experience.
I want to go badly.
I wondered why Jay would go there. Well, he not born in Cuba, but born to Cuban parents in Miami. And that's in there, 3-2. So the time to go is now before it changes. 10 years from now, it's going to be, obviously, if things continue in the certain pattern. Line drive left field, charged, but it'll drop for a base hit. There's the Padres' first hit today. Newcomer John Jay with a single to left.
That's a fine job by John Jay fighting off Clayton Kershaw, avoiding the strikeout. And what did he get? Looks like he got a 2-seamer away.
I don't think Carl Crawford saw the ball. He had that help me with both hands outspread as that ball went in his direction. Look at Crawford. There it is. I heard it. Bounce.
You're absolutely right, because this time of the night we got some shadows. Plus, remember, the vantage point from left field, you're looking above the Padre dugout. You see some scattered sunlight, some shadows. Ball gets mixed in there. You don't get a good read.
Derek Norris flew to right field, and this one flies to left, but Crawford does have a beat on this one. And the Padres go on in the 3rd. On to the 4th, 3-0 LA. Mark Sweeney caught up with Padres manager Andy Green.
Andy, thanks for the time. First impressions after the 2 leadoff doubles. Your impression of Tyson Ross today?
You know, Tyson's had his fastball up a little bit more than he typically like. His slider's biting well. You know, there's a couple times we probably just need to take Adrian out of the mix altogether and bury stuff and not give him an opportunity to drive and a run, especially as well as Tyson handles Puig. So, you know, all in all, he's competing out there right now.
John Jay with the first hit. What's the offensive challenge against the Clayton Kershaw?
I mean, it's great, but, you know, we probably got to get off the dish a little bit on the fastball in from righties. You know, he comes in very aggressively, very well. He's blowing up some bats right now. We're getting his pitch count up a little bit. We'd string some hits together, it'll get up a lot quicker.
Andy, thanks for your time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's nice of the new skipper to spend some time and give us some insights. Line drive into the shift in shallow right field as Spangenberg to deny Jock Peterson. Those are the ones that make you go back to the dugout grumbling. It ripped one to right. That's a base hit without the shift, but it's an easy out with it.
Hit squarely. You can hear it all the way up here, but you know what? When it all said and done, that's a big league hang with them. And we've got stats on everything these days, Professor. And look at the lowest average versus the shift. Look who's there, Jock Peterson. What is he hitting?
209. And he's got to say, goodness, it's happened to me already this year. Bad enough all last season.
That's got to be frustrating as a hitter. My goodness, you put a good swing on it, you square it up, and it's a 4-3.
Tyson Ross likes it. 1 pitch, 1 out. A.J. Ellis, fly ball to right, his only at bat. Hit well against the Padres. He's a lifetime 241 hitter.
And you know, I know we talk about the shifts a lot. Guys try to put down the bunt. We talked about Adrian Gonzalez trying to do that. And if I'm a betting man, it's going to be 80% to 85%, maybe 90% to where they're going to stick to their strengths. They're going to pick a situation to where they want to drop a bunt just to, you know, sneak attack somebody if they're playing the shift. But let's face it, Dick, your opinion, when you've got a guy like Adrian Gonzalez, he's going to pretty much stick to his strength every time, don't you think?
Well, there's some situations where it may be okay, you're behind by a run, you're leading off, then maybe you do just to get a base runner. But normally you want to, you know, yank the ball here. It was interesting. It wasn't in manager Green's commentary that already he's saying we should have basically was saying pitch around Gonzalez, not let him hit, and then Gonzalez with 2 RBI singles.
Especially with the way we've seen Yasiel Puig swing the bat recently. I mean, he walked the second time, but not some good swings. So not a bad piece of advice right there to maybe do the old pitch around when it comes to Adrian.
Protective swing there from Ellis. You know, who's done a really good job of taking advantage of the shift is Brandon Belt of the Giants. I mean, he has a lot of base hits bunting. I would think among those with a lot of shifts, he's near the top in batting average against, as Ellis goes down swinging. Number 5 for Tyson Ross.
Well, first time for everything, 2016. Time for the Cholula flamethrower. 95 from Tyson Ross. You know what that is, Professor?
What?
Hot sauce.
You could you've warmed up all season long for that, huh? Well, I'm not sure you're selling hot sauce when you say you want water. I heard water's not good.
You have to drink plenty of water. Stay hydrated, my friend.
I know, but with the hot sauce, I heard the water intensifies the
milk. Dairy. It's dairy you're supposed to drink, right? On the spicy stuff?
You got me, but somebody told me once, don't drink water.
It is dairy. It's been confirmed.
Clayton Kershaw grounded to first, his only at bat. And he falls behind 1 and 2. Bases empty here in the 4th. A 3-0 Dodger lead. That one misses. 1 walk, 1 hit batsman from Ross, and 5 punch-outs. Out in front of the plate, the number, and Norris hustles and just does get him in time. A 1-2-3 inning for Tyson Ross. Middle of the 4th here at Petco. Matt Kemp will lead it off for the Padres. They need 3 to tie.
Fox Sports San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Sequan Casino. Play, win, together in the heart of San Diego. By Jack in the Box, taste the all-new Habanero Pepper Jack Ultimate Cheeseburger. And by Mercury Insurance. We're on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today. Oh, I love those leapfrogs. They're amazing. I mean, they can land on a dime. And he's safe too.
That's fun to watch.
Wow. I'd like to see you do that, Mark Grant.
Did you ever jump out of a plane? Parachute?
Not a parachute. No, I haven't done that, but I did hang glide in tandem. Yeah, I've done. Is it hang gliding or?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, in Turkey we did it. Matt Kemp, bottom of the fourth. Then Will Myers and Alexei Ramirez against Clayton Kershaw.
I can't do that parachuting with a tandem because I'm too fat.
Oh no, there's no weight limits.
There's a weight limit.
Well, I think it's 400.
I think it's 250, and I'm over the 250 mark.
Yeah. Kemp grounded to short his first time. No shift on.
Well, so many times that Matt Kemp saw this kid, Clayton Kershaw, when they're wearing the same uniform. Now he has to face him since being a Padres. So we're putting together a sequence here to see how Kershaw attacks Matt Kemp. First time out, he grounded to short. A lot of pitches up in the zone.
He gets the strikeout, wins the battle that time. Kershaw, his fourth strikeout.
Last pitch was a breaking ball down and in, but the first pitch of the at-bat sets that up. First pitch fastball, middle in. That's what a hitter really likes to turn on. Breaking ball, curveball for a strike. There's a waste pitch up and away.
Yeah, he thought he had him there.
Most certainly did. So what do you know? Up and away, down and in, finishes him off down and in.
You know what I saw on that strike zone canvas? A paint job.
Very nice.
I mean, he's an artist.
He is.
He just painted all the corner. There wasn't one good pitch to hit there. Maybe that slow curveball he has you so off balance you're frozen on it.
Staying out of the heart of the plate. You're right. Working the corners.
Will Myers struck out his first at bat. Myers looking for his first hit against Kershaw. 0 for 9 lifetime.
And our good friends from Southland Technology bringing you the pitch tracks there. Leah just missing a little bit with the off-speed pitch. Trying to entice that hitter to swing at a bad pitch.
High fly ball, center field. A late break for Peterson, but he's able to scamper in for the catch. 2 away. Kershaw on opening day is unbeaten. He's 3-0 with an ERA of 1.14. Look at the names on that list.
Yeah.
Feller, Palmer, Newhouser, all in the Hall of Fame.
And you know he's going to stack up the opening day starts. Second in franchise history to one of your friends, our friends. Don Sutton has 7 as a Dodger. Clayton Kershaw, I think Mr. Enberg is going to shatter that record.
Well, this is his 6th. I think Drysdale had 6 or 7 too, didn't he? Ooh, that breaking ball. Yeah, well, Sutton is consecutive, right? Check swing, ball gets away. And a check swing, so it's 1-2. Ramirez grounded to third his only at bat. He had some success in Chicago against Kershaw. He went 5 for 8, now 5 for 9 with the out made today. He caught him looking. A couple of strikeouts here in the fourth. As once again Kershaw mows him down 1, 2, 3.
To the top of the 5th, I'm here with Albert and his son Owen. Happy opening day, guys. So tell me how this father-son tradition started.
It started ever since I was a little kid. My dad used to bring me to just a baseball game since I was young, probably about Owen's age here, and up until I was really a teenager.
And this is Owen's first opening day.
Yeah, it's his first opening day. He's happy to be here.
Owen, who's your favorite Padres player?
Tyson Ross.
All right, very cool. Well, thanks so much for being here, guys. We appreciate it. Happy opening day to you, and back up to you guys.
All right, thank you, Julie. That's exactly what we were talking about at the start of our telecast today, the generational nature of this game. Fathers passing it along to sons, and grandfathers to fathers to sons, and on we go. Wonderful.
I remember opening days in Little League. I remember almost getting rained out. I cried because it was raining in the forecast.
Yeah.
I'm serious, because I was getting the pill on the hill for opening day, and I wanted to pitch. Well, the skies opened up. It rained. And
in Chicago, it rained.
Yeah, and my dad brought me by the Little League diamond so we could take a look at it. If there was standing water, I was going to be ticked.
Oh, of course.
Oh, we're not going to have opening day tomorrow.
Chase Utley, a blue double scored in the first, hit by a pitch the last time.
Oh, good pitch there.
2-1. Going back to that play at home plate when the Padres nailed him trying to score from first base on the double hit by Justin Turner. I agree with you after looking at the replays that he went out of his way to go at the catcher, not directly to home plate. Fouled it back, but that's how he's played the game. And of course, the fractured leg of Tejada in the playoffs has led to what they're calling the Utley rule, that now when you're sliding into second base, you must hit the ground before your feet are lower than the knees of the player. You can't use the roll block anymore, the late roll block. But that's how Utley's always played. That's how he's taught to play. Center field, Jay. Boy, he got a good break on that ball. One away. So here's the play as they go. Oh, man, that was vicious. That's how you played the game. You took out the man at second base. Corey Spangenberg was on the shelf for 4 or 5 weeks when he got hit on a slide, much like now. Here today, you have to go directly to the base. He goes to the inside, not the outside. 50-50. He certainly didn't go to the outside part of the plate.
Right.
Ground ball sharply by Seager right to Ramirez, who throws him out.
Here's the thing that I look at, though. Derek Norris upheld his side of the deal. He gave him a lane, right? So he's doing everything in his power to allow the runner to get to one certain part of the plate. See, look, right there, he's there, but Utley goes for him there. He gave him this part of the plate.
Old habits, tough to break. It would have been interesting had the umpire not called him out on the tag if he would have punched him out for the slide. 2 away, 2 quick outs here in the Dodger 5th inning. Justin Turner grounded to second and doubled to left.
Okay, here's one more look. Watch Norris to his left. He's giving him the outside part of the plate, but Utley goes to the inside, going for Norris.
That's condemning. That shot. That angle is condemning.
It really is. Hey, I've got no problem with a guy playing hard. Don't get me wrong.
No, I don't either. I like a guy.
But there are rules to it. You can still play hard and still abide by the rules.
The other part of protecting the players, and especially out at second base, is there's no neighborhood play anymore. You have to hit the bag with the ball at second on a double play.
Have you ever seen the one in the World Series, Hal McRae going into Dick Green? Is it Dick Green for the Oakland A's at the Coliseum? Huh, bring that one up. It is a full-on, on-your-feet roll block above the belt. I mean, he knocks him into the bay. Hal McRae I should say blocking.
Yeah, McRae. And Don Baylor would take you out. So I recall Richie Allen was no picnic either when he came into second base. 3-2, and a fly ball to right field. Kemp able to fight the sun and make the catch, and Tyson Ross retires the side in order, and we're at the halfway mark in this one. Astros game summary. First inning. Corey Seager, the Dodger rookie shortstop, rattles the boards and left, and that drives in Utley, who had a bloop double, 1-0. Adrian Gonzalez followed and does what Gonzalez does so well, drives in runs. It's 2-0. Gonzalez would come back in the third inning. Didn't hit this one that hard, but finds the opening in left center. And that brought in Justin Turner. And that's all the scoring today. 3 runs and 5 hits for the Dodgers. No runs and 1 hit for the Padres. Kershaw goes to work in the bottom of the 5th inning. Solarte reached safely on a walk in the second. One of 2 base runners allowed by the Dodger left-hander. One ball, 1 strike. Solarte, Melvin Upton, and then Spangenberg for the Padres in the 5th. Line drive. Oh, third baseman Turner gets the glove in the way, and Solarte denied a base hit.
That's hot sauce off the bat of Solarte. Ball actually was hit so hard, kind of hooking a little bit right into the glove of Turner. That's a hang with him. Nothing you can do there, Jan. Keep swinging.
Well, there's the familiar form of the poet laureate of our broadcasting business, Vin Scully, in his 67th season calling Dodger games. He says this is his last year. I don't believe him. He's been saying he's going to retire for 10 years. We talked with him before the game, and what an elegant man he is, what he has done for all of us in all of this game. Well, when the Dodgers came out from Brooklyn, played in the Coliseum, and it's the days of the transistor radio where you didn't have earplugs, you could just hear his voice reverberating throughout the Coliseum. You saw the game and heard his broadcast all at the same time.
The Fordham Flash.
Yeah.
Tell you, there's nothing more refreshing. One of the luxuries I have and so lucky to be a part of is with the Padres, and going into the booth and just spending 2 or 3 minutes with Vin and just hearing his stories. And it's very refreshing to sit back and just soak it all in, because you know what?
He's a history book there. You're talking about the history book.
He's sincere. He cares. And he gives you the time of day to chat baseball. It's just like we were talking about. It's in his DNA, for the love of Pete.
No, for the love of Vin.
Yeah, there you go. Well put.
Upton takes in the dirt, and it's 2-2. Melvin lined to short, a soft liner, his first time. Think about that, fans. 67 years of broadcasting Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say broadcasting, massaging Major League Baseball. Swing and a miss. Down goes Upton, and that's the 6th strikeout for Kershaw. Oh, wait, that ball did get in and out of the glove of Ellis. Kershaw going to have to throw another. He thought he had his 6th punch out.
I think it was just a frog with a tennis racket in the glove of Ellis. And let's take a look, see if this ball changes direction. Yeah, it looks like it did. It looks like it did a little bit, didn't it? Did you see the rotation on the baseball kind of change? Just a skosh?
Kershaw thought it was a strikeout. And it was. Just a pitch later.
Hey, Padre fans, if you can't watch the games on TV, well, what do? You can now stream games live on your mobile device. Just go to your app store and download the free Fox Sports Go app. It's free again, Dick. Free Fox Sports Go app. Log in and stream the Padres wherever you go.
Are we going to maybe not get paid someday because we're giving everything away?
There it is.
Getting out of town just in time. 2 away to Corey Spangenberg. Grounded to second his first time. Looks like Kershaw's lost some of his good stuff, huh? Long season for the left-hander.
Yeah, he needs to pick it up.
1 walk, 1 hit, 6 strikeouts with 2 outs here in the 5th inning for the man from Dallas.
Remember last year, everybody panicked after his first 9 starts, had an ERA of 4.32. Final 24 starts at 139. So we always talk about it, Dick. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And it was evident last year for Clayton Kershaw. And we got ZZ Top in the house. Range.
I like those glasses, though, huh? So in my time, you know, you don't. They went like you would say, those are hot, and then another generation, those are cool.
You know what it is now?
What?
Lit.
They're lit.
Those are lit. Give me one, Professor. Say those glasses are lit. Come on. The younger generation will love you.
I can't do it unless I have something to be lit about. This guy is litting it up. I know that.
Yeah, he is.
3-2 to Spanshenberg. And another strikeout. 7 for the amazing Clayton Kershaw. We've completed 5. Dodgers by 3.
Lead 3-0 as we head to the top of the 6th. Now, what says San Diego more than a surfboard at a ballpark? I'm standing here at the San Diego Sun Deck. This is one of the new additions to Petco Park this season, brand new for 2016. And as you can see, a ton of fans here. And pro surfer Taylor Knox, what up, buddy? Congrats, his surfboard is here, and you can check it out on the Sun Deck. Above is the craft pier, named for over 50 local craft beers that you can find on tap. Of course, very San Diego. And you're right here in the right center field line, and you can watch the game from a deck chair. Doesn't get much better than this. Life's a beach in San Diego, guys.
All right.
Oh, I get it.
Great addition.
I love the Adirondack chairs out there. What a great view. You know what? I smell a game out there. I smell doing a game out there.
Oh, yeah. That's a thought.
That'd be fun.
Adrian Gonzalez blasts that one foul. He has a pair of RBI singles today. Tyson Ross has retired the last 7 Dodgers in succession as we move to the 6th. Gonzalez, Puig, and then Crawford scheduled for LA. All the action for the Dodgers has come in the top 4 men in the batting order, and they're going to get Gonzalez, maybe not. That one kicks foul.
And the one trap you don't want to fall into, I know this is only game 1, but a couple of pitches may be making the difference in a ball game if you don't have a lot of offense. Now, granted, Clayton Kershaw is out on the mound. We know his numbers opening day. He's one tough customer, but over the course of time, you don't want one of those 2 or 3 pitches early in the ball game to decide your fate. in a 9-inning game.
Wonder how many innings he's pegged to pitch today. Dictated by his number of pitches. Certainly the way he's rolling along, 7-8 innings.
Well, right now, as he waits on the bench, he has tossed that spheroid plateward 70 times.
Yeah, so he could go another couple innings easily.
Yeah.
The view from the manager's seat. With a count 2-2 on Gonzalez. Into the shift, and they'll get him with Spangenberg from right field throwing him out. Hit the ball hard. Tonight's game presented by Sony, the leader of 4K Ultra HD. It is tonight now, right? Quarter
yes,
to 6.
It is.
Is that night or is that
you are correct,
late
sir.
afternoon? When is it night?
Whenever you say it is, Professor.
I'm asking you.
It's night. I'm right there with you.
When the sun's out, it's hard to say it's night. I know. Well, anyway, Yasiel Puig has struck out and walked. High fly ball into the right field corner, sailing foul.
You know what? I have not seen good swings from Puig this evening. So you don't want to throw him a breaking ball in the zone. Speed up his bat. Keep the ball down and away. Fastballs away. He's not been able to catch up to that Tyson Ross pitch. You leave a hanger in the middle of the zone, it could spell trouble.
Yeah, that got a piece of him. And he's aboard second batter hit today by Tyson Ross. And one out. Puig at first has that two-seamer coming in on him. As if he hit him in the left wrist. Well, the Dodgers moaning and groaning about all their injuries, and especially to their starting pitching. Hyun-Jin Ryu is out with a shoulder. Brett Anderson with a back. Brandon McCarthy, elbow. 3 men that could be in their 5-man rotation. So we're going to see a newcomer tomorrow night. Scott Kazmir. Carl Crawford has struck out and grounded out. Kazmir signed as a free agent in the offseason. Will go against James Shields, our TV time 6:30 for Fox Sports San Diego pregame show. And then on Wednesday night, an hour earlier, a 6 o'clock game will be on at 5:30. Andrew Kastner against Kenta Maeda, Japanese right-hander. Taco Tuesday tomorrow night.
Oh, got to come to the ball yard. It's a great night at Petco.
Be wearing the brown and yellow jerseys. I know that pleases you.
Love that. Glad they brought it back. Hey, now it's not bring back the brown, it's back the brown because it's here. So back it, wear it, love it.
It is different. Good stab by Myers, reaching around the runner.
Yeah, a lot going on right there because Will Myers, that big frame, has to go to his right and avoid that runner going back into first base, which is Yasiel Puig. So a couple of big gentlemen there.
Puig hit by a pitch that snaps a string of 8 straight outs from Ross. Holding runners has not been Tyson's strength, but he has been working on that, and his move has improved.
Yeah, that's a lot of body to put in motion and be quick to first base, and you can work on that. It's all in the feet. Quick feet like James Shields. Quick feet, snap throw, something you can work on.
Puig drawing those throws, bobbing and weaving as he takes his stance. One out. Chop to third. Tough play for Solarte on the run. Not in time. Crawford can still get up the line and has an infield hit. Puig to second base, and with one away, it's Jock Peterson.
Well, not the prototypical swing from Carl Crawford, but when he chops the ball this way and they were shifting him a little bit on the pull side, Advantage Crawford. Picking him up, putting him down for the infield single.
Jock Peterson struck out, caught looking. Hard ground ball out to shallow right field. The shift got him. 4-3 in the 4th inning. Ripped fair into the corner. That might get 2 more home. One for certain. Puig. Crawford is going to be checked at third base, and it's 4-0 as Peterson rockets one into right field. 4th double for the Dodgers today of their 7 hits.
Jock Peterson threw some serious head of that bat at that breaking ball down and in. Slider, cutter, whatever you want to call it. Just drops the head. Stays fair in between the glove and the line of Will Myers at first base. That's good extension there. After striking out, looking and grounding, hitting that ball hard to the right side. Remember, the shift was on. He beats the shift there down the line.
Darren Balsley and manager Green watching as bullpen now is active for the first time for San Diego here in the 6th. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Infield in. A.J. Ellis, the batter, is flying out and struck out.
Ryan Book there, the left-hander, one of the 2 left-handers for Andy Green and the Padres, heating up.
Mark McGuire, the bench coach with Green.
Yes, he did.
0-2 as first base umpire Eric Cooper confirms. Solarte, Ramirez, Spanchenberg, Myers, and on the edge of the grass.
You need a punch out here. You've got Clayton Kershaw on deck.
Chopped off the glove of Ramirez. That's going to get 2 in. Well, infield tie, hitter's delight. Just a bouncing single that would be a normal out, but with the infield in becomes a 2-run base hit, and the Dodgers have blown it open. 6-0 now in the 6th.
That's the chance you take when you have the infield in, as you mentioned, Dick. You get a high chopper and just off the glove of Alexei Ramirez, and it slows it down a little bit, enabling Jock Peterson to add on.
Crawford and Peterson come home on the Ellis bouncer. Half a dozen for the Dodgers, and here's Kershaw squaring early and then pulls the bat back and lines a base hit to center. And it surprises you when you see that he only last year had 9 hits and 71 trips, because he can swing the bat. And he moves Ellis to second base after the hit batsman. 4 consecutive hits for the Dodgers here in the 6th inning.
The old butcher boy, he didn't even use a stride. Showed bunt, and the big key on that play is that you have to get those hands all the way back, locked and loaded right there. A good position in the elevated pitch helps him out as well, enabling him to put it over Alexei Ramirez's head.
And that base hit brings manager Green to the mound, and that'll be all for Tyson Ross. A disappointing opening day start for the big right-hander as he leaves trailing 6-0.
For a memorable moment in Padre history, 94 All-Star game, bottom of the 10th inning, score tied at 7. Moises Alou belts a double to left center, and here comes Mr. Padre Tony Gwynn to the plate, eludes the tag of Pudge Rodriguez, and the National League wins it 8-7. San Diego, of course, will play host to the All-Star Classic later this summer. Ryan Buchter in to pitch, the left-hander. Signed to a minor league contract by the Padres in December last year. He's pitched in only one major league game prior to his appearance today with Atlanta 2 years ago. And our pitching change is brought to you by El Cajon Ford.
One of two left-handers for Andy Green. Thornton, the other lefty. He throws a fastball, a slider, and a cutter. 92, 93 on the fastball.
Facing Chase Utley, the leadoff man, and Utley promptly singles sharply to right. Kemp bobbles the ball, and so on comes the runner to the plate and scores. So Ellis had been checked at third stop, but when he saw Kemp bobble the ball, he was sent home by third base coach Chris Woodward. That'll be a single and an error, and Utley in the mix again. 7-0 Dodgers. First error of the season to Matt Kemp.
Yeah, we know the track record of Chase Utley, righty, lefty. He puts together a good at bat, and not too many times you're going to get away with a pitch that much catching of the plate, and Utley is going to capitalize on it.
Corey Seager doubled in his first at bat of the season, knocked in a run and scored a run. He struck out and grounded out since. Yeah, there are just some players, when they swing and miss, they still look good, and this kid does. And that run charged to Tyson Ross. And that'll be 7 runs, 6 earned at this point. Go and 2. Buchter last year was in the Dodger organization, pitched in Oklahoma City, AAA team, and also for AAA Iowa for the Cubs. Top minor league outfit. 1-2. And his combined record was 2-0 and an ERA of 1.78. So the Padres attracted to those numbers. The 29-year-old left-hander out of New Jersey. First and third, still only 1 out. 8th man to bat in the inning. 4 have scored.
And Dick, we know what a luxury it is to have a couple of left-handers, effective left-handers. You know, we go up the coast here, San Francisco. Bruce Bochy always likes to carry 2 or 3 lefties over the course of his managerial career. So not to just have one. So hopefully Buchter and Thornton is a good combination out of the Padre bullpen.
Padres basically went through the entire season last year with only 1 southpaw in the pen.
Yeah.
First and third. Kershaw still on the bases over there at third. Utley at first. Dodgers posting a big number 4 here in the top of the 6th inning. Line to center, right at Jay. Tagging is Kershaw, and he will score. It is 8-0. Seager hits it hard again. A sacrifice fly, his second RBI in the game today, as it's time now for the Bill Howe play of the game.
Well, it's back in the 3rd inning. Justin Turner rifles one down in the left field corner. Now the Padres do a great job of hitting the cutoff man and throwing a strike. Fox Vision has it here now. 65.5 feet away is Utley, and look at that, 207 feet, but he goes for Norris. That ain't cool, quite frankly. Derek Norris stood to his end of the deal. He gave him a lane, and yet Chase Utley, still with a lot of room between him and home plate, he goes for the Padres catcher. Sorry, ain't cool.
Finally, the second out of the inning as the Dodgers have hit around. Justin Turner double in 3 trips and scored a run. Closes the book on Tyson Ross, allowing all 8 runs. And at the moment, they're all going to be earned as well. So that's a tough way to start with 5 1/3 innings, 8 earned runs, 9 hits, 1 walk, 2 hit batsmen, struck out 4. Kershaw has 1 hit and 1 run. The Dodger pitcher has allowed 1 hit and no runs. Had a good cut at that one.
Tell you, Justin Turner, you take a look at him. You put a leprechaun hat on him, he could right be on the box of Lucky Charms. Green clovers, blue diamonds.
That's a good red moss, huh?
Yeah.
Here. Tell you what, this man can hit. How he languished in the minor leagues for so long, and somebody didn't see his talent sooner. And he was a reserve with the Dodgers for a couple of years before he finally convinced him, hey, put me in the lineup. Couldn't beat out Juan Uribe.
First made it to the big leagues with the Orioles back in 2009. And when you look over his career in the major leagues, he's a .284 hitter. But you're right, Dick. He turned it on when he had an opportunity with these Dodgers and not looking back, taking advantage of that situation.
Booker 2-2, and that's in there. Strike 3. Inning comes to an end, but a big inning it is for the Dodgers. 5 more on the board, and they lead 8-0.
This week only, you can get a free, that's right, you heard it here, free season-long subscription to MLB.TV Premium. Just go to tmobile.com/MLB to sign up now and catch every moment of America's fastest growing LTE network.
Giving it away this year,
Yep.
so take advantage, fans. And we hope you'll be with us tomorrow night, 6:30 our TV time here on Fox Sports San Diego. James Shields, first start of the year against Scott Kazmir. Adam Rosales pinch hits for the pitcher Ryan Buchter. Rosales, the last man to make the 25-man roster yesterday. Veteran infielder from Western Michigan, a former Bronco. Tracy Thompson inserted in left field for the Dodgers for Crawford. To Hopper to third and Turner across for the out. Kershaw continues a superb opening day effort.
It might be one of those games where, as we go into the 6th inning here, they might want to let Kershaw go 7 to get that good workout. So this inning and then next inning, depending on how many pitches, you only see 74 pitches. I'm sure he's going to work his way up to about 90 or 100 to get that so-called workout in.
Leadoff hitter John Jay has the only hit today for the Padres.
There you see it. 75. Break it down. 45 strikes, 30 balls for the left-hander.
Good swing there by Jay. The thing about Kershaw, when he doesn't get the strike call or doesn't throw the strike, it's right there on the edge.
Yeah.
I mean, barrels that one at 91 or right down the heart of the plate. Breaking ball off the fist, rolled up the middle. Utley able to get there in time to throw out Jay. 2 gone in the bottom of the 6th inning. The only hit allowed by Kershaw was this base hit by John Jay.
Stayed inside that pitch nicely. It was an elevated pitch up around the belt buckle and trying not to pull that ball and spanking it to left field for the knock.
And Crawford in left field was backing up and had his hands out. He didn't see the ball. Had he been able to pick that ball up off the bat, it was in the glare of the 4:30, 4:45 time here at Petco. We might be looking at Kershaw flirting with a no-hitter. Derek Norris has flied out twice. Oh, 0-2. A machine. Won both the Cy Young and the MVP 2 years ago. 3 Cy Young awards in the last 5 years, 3 out of 5. He thought he had a strikeout there. Didn't get the call. 2-2. He's punched out 7, walked 1.
Just off the plate a little bit. Tried to backdoor just a little bit off the plate.
High fly ball, high and right, in position Puig. Familiar refrain. 1, 2, 3. time now at Petco Park for Fan Diego, fan of the game. Fans they are. Youngsters galore here on opening day. Great to have them aboard. Well, they haven't been able to stir up some offense against Clayton Kershaw, but the enthusiasm is there as Luis Perdomo makes his major league debut for the Padres. Acquired in December for a player to be named later from the Colorado Rockies. Pitched an A-ball last year in Peoria and Palm Beach, so he's making a big jump.
Hey, welcome to the big leagues. First pitch in there, first strike.
Just 22 years of age from the Dominican Republic. They love his stuff, and they throw him into the fire here, facing Adrian Gonzalez to lead off the 7th. Gonzalez, then Puig, and Tracy Thompson hitting in Crawford's spot. Gonzalez with a pair of RBI singles. Hit it hard the last time, but into the shift. Spangenberg's out there in shallow right field again. A live arm, 94 on that fastball from Perdomo.
Infield on the pull side with the shift, and the outfield just a little bit shading to the left side. As John Jay is on the shortstop side of second base. In center field. We got a call there. Thank you very much.
2-2.
What, down the middle doesn't count?
Full count, just a bit low apparently.
Looks like that top of the baseball is touching the bottom of the zone there.
And he walked him. So Gonzalez aboard for the 3rd time in the game, leading off here in the 7th inning. Dodgers play here Tuesday, Wednesday night, and then an off day they go to, no, I don't think they get an off day. They play 4 games in San Francisco, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, 4 in a row. And on Saturday, it looks as if it'll be Bumgarner and Kershaw hooking up. And I think that game's on Big Fox, too. The fans will be able to see that game. And then their home opener is a week from tomorrow night against Arizona. Puig walked, hit by a pitch, and struck out, and a base hit up the middle. Gonzalez will coast into second base. First 2 men aboard for the Dodgers here in the 7th. So Puig joins the party. Everyone in the starting lineup for the Dodgers with at least 1 base hit. 11 total. Not the way he would have written the script, Andy Green. Only 161 to go.
Yeah, it's, what do they say every year, Professor? It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You can't win the pennant on the first day. What other cliche can I throw out there?
That's right. 1-0 or 8-0. What difference does it make if you don't score a run? Huh? Tracy Thompson. There's a new face for the Dodgers this year. Young minor leaguers impressed in spring training. Better double check the pronunciation of his first name, spelled T-R-A-Y-C-E. Trace Thompson, I believe, rather than Tracy.
I would have been right there with you, Professor. I would have said Tracy as well.
Last season, 295. That was just in 122 bats with the White Sox. And he drills one into the left field corner. That's the way to break in the National League. That'll score Gonzalez from third, and coming around third and holding is Puig. A 9-0 Dodger lead as they're treating Luis Perdomo rudely in his major league debut. Well, another double. That's the 5th in the game for the Dodgers.
Rookie ball, A ball, double A, all the way up to the big leagues. You hang a breaking ball like that, and Thompson's going to stay on. It's going to speed up his bat for the extra base hit.
Yeah, young Thompson. Nice way to spend this Monday, April 4th, a debut in the National League. Age 25. Dodgers got Thompson in a trade with the White Sox in December. It's kind of a three-corner deal where Todd Frazier went from Cincinnati to the White Sox, and when it all settled, Thompson wound up in Los Angeles. Peterson, a double, knocked in a run, scored a run, 1 for 3.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Yeah, the matchup, the Padres and Dodgers, not a good one last year for San Diego. They won only 3 of 10 here at Petco, and overall the Dodgers prevailed 14-5 and won the last 6 in a row at the end of last year, and they start this new season pounding out a 9-0 lead and a couple of men aboard in scoring position and no one out in the 7th. Clayton Kershaw in his rocking chair there in the dugout. He's retired the last 10 in a row and has allowed only 1 hit and 1 walk today. Two and two to Peterson.
You know when you're getting old, Dick, is when you play against.
I know when you're getting old. Don't
is when you play. You've played against players now, dads.
How about granddads?
Yeah, well, that's yeah. There you go. I played against Stu Peterson, the father of Jock Peterson, in the minor leagues.
He goes down swinging. He'll do that a lot, but he also brings a lot of power to the plate. First out here in the 7th inning. Perdomo has his first big league strikeout.
Good breaking ball right there from Perdomo. Peterson? That's a strikeout.
A.J. Ellis comes up. Bounced one through a drawn-in infield, clipped it off shortstop Ramirez's glove for a 2-run single in the 5-run explosion in the last inning for L.A. 2 in the first, 1 in the third. Dodgers with 5 more in the 6th inning. Added another against Perdomo here in the 7th. Just missed away at 95.
Yep.
So while the Dodgers will open the season with 3 here in San Diego and 4 up in San Francisco, Padres will play their 3 and then head on the road and open the season in Colorado and also open the home season in Philadelphia.
Bring the overcoat.
Yeah,
it's the overcoat trip.
They've had a lot of postponements today. Cleveland postponed. Yankees were postponed at home against Houston.
And you know, in Colorado, the first road trip, it could be 70, it could be 70 below.
Or it could be slalom. You know, we could be slalom up there at a mile.
That's right.
And a walk to Ellis. Second allowed by Perdomo, and the bases are loaded with Dodgers. And Kershaw going to get a chance to swing the stick again. He came up with a single, scored a run the last time.
Hey, I know it's 9-0. We're in the top of the 7th, and the Dodgers taking full control here, but Perdomo making some pretty good pitches, but just not getting any calls as the sacks are full.
Puig, Thompson, and now Ellis aboard for Kershaw. The old Butcher Boy swing last time. Showed bunt and then pulled the bat back and slapped a single to center field. You know, and along with his incredible athletic talent in this game, Kershaw, he's such a terrific representative of baseball in the community, internationally, his charity in Zambia, building homes, educating kids, he and his wife. I mean, he's a very responsible young man, and you have a lot of things to admire about him.
You know, I think baseball should, because I know there's a lot of Padres as well that do a lot in the community. I think baseball should take hold of that and market that more than they actually do, to show the goodness that they share in their community.
Well, there is the Roberto Clemente Award, which goes to an athlete that shows that kind of commitment to his fellow man, and indeed Kershaw won the Clemente Award. Fouls that off. A fall away swing for Kershaw against Perdomo. 1-2. Don't forget, Friday nights always party night in the park here during the season. I know a lot of young fans, they kind of check that box every Friday.
Sure.
Padres are home. Come out and have a good time before the game. Announcing the attendance in this sellout crowd, 44,317 to start the home season. Great to have all the fans, young and old, here today. Have a good crowd again tomorrow night and Wednesday against the Dodgers. Hope you've made your plans. Wonderful scoreboard, just dominates out there, doesn't it? It's great. Fans out in the park. Some changes made out there with the San Diego area. Spoils another, does Kershaw. Not over swinging, just trying to make contact. Bases loaded, 1 out, run home here in the 7th. San Diego area.
Hey, it's a party.
Yeah, well, you can get up to 200, 300 people there. I mean, it spoils another.
I was out there signing autographs during Fan Fest, and what a great view. Get a social sparkler and meet some new friends. How you doing? Meet some Friar faithful and maybe fans from the other team as well. It's a love fest out there.
Oh, it is. Well, it's party time. He finally gets Kershaw to wave at a fastball, second strikeout, and with 2 outs, it'll bring up the leadoff man, Chase Utley. A look at the pitching matchup for tomorrow's game, brought to you by Tough Shed. Veteran left-hander Scott Kazmir against James Shields. Shields, the Padres' best pitching record last year, 13-7.
Hey, and if you don't like it, Tough Shed.
That's her. I know back on the farm when my dad was unhappy with me when we went in that direction, that was a tough shed.
Go pick one out, and if it's not big enough, I'll do it for you.
Yeah. No, my dad never hit me with a stick.
Well, the next question is
the shovel, though. Boy, did that hurt. Utley.
And you know what, Dick? We turned out all right.
I think so. You know, it was a little fear of punishment, a little physical punishment. It wasn't like you're going to knock me into the next county. 2-0 to Utley with the bases full. And he lines one into right field, a base hit. Boy, the old man can still hit. 2 more Dodger runs will score on Utley's single, and they've hit double figures, 11-0. Utley with his 3rd hit, a couple of them doubles.
Down and in.
Make that a single.
And we know that Chase Utley can use the whole field. The first double in the first inning was the opposite way. They're pulling the last two. Putting good swings on him.
And young Luis Perdomo trying to make the jump all the way from Class A as a Rule 9 pick by the Padres. They were roughed up here and got a feel for him. And Darren Balsley going out there and says, okay, it's nothing now. Let's get the final out here. You struck out a couple of guys. You know that you've got that kind of stuff to punch out a major leaguer.
Dick, one of the toughest things for any pitcher, especially making your debut, is getting knocked around like this, but trying to maintain that positive attitude. That's what a pitching coach is all about. That's what a catcher's all about. Try to maintain things and put out the fire.
Ellis stays at third on the sharp single, 2-run single by Utley. 8th man to bat in the inning is Corey Seager. RBI double and a sacrifice fly for the young shortstop. As Colin Ray getting loose in the bullpen. Figures to be one of those in the starting rotation, and this is almost like a bullpen
exactly
for him. Ground ball to the first baseman Myers, and thankfully the inning comes to an end. 3 more on the board for the Dodgers. The score is 11-0. It's the stretch half of the 7th, and always a special time. Opening day, we go to PA announcer Alex Miniak.
It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Before we sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," please stand and welcome Information Systems Technician Yerrick Connor. Please sing along as he presents "God Bless America."
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, why wherefore God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
In love with baseball. When do you remember letting the game grab a hold? On opening day, reflect on the feelings that drew you in. The 2016 baseball journey begins today, and the game continues to deliver as it always has, with memories to cherish an entire lifetime.
And win or lose, that's always true. You're Clayton Kershaw and you're pumping strikes. You've allowed only a walk and a hit, and the hit was somewhat questionable as we go to the 7th inning, and Matt Kemp, the batter for the Padres. Kershaw has retired the last 10 in a row. And the hit was John Jay's single in the 3rd that left fielder Carl Crawford didn't see in the late bright sunshine. That ball fell one hop in front of him. And, you know, you could speculate, had he seen that ball off the bat, could he have caught it? Just missed there on that curveball. Kemp has struck out and grounded to short. And that is strike 3. He knew it. 11 straight outs for Kershaw. 8 of them by strikeout.
He has so many tools in that toolbox and those pitches in his repertoire that he could just sneak one by you when you're thinking about something else. Looking at what Matt Kemp's reaction was there, maybe looking for a wrinkle, and he sneaks the fastball by him.
Right-hander Coleman getting loose in the bullpen for the Dodgers. Lewis Coleman. So that's a first hint that Kershaw will be going 7 innings. Will Myers struck out and fly to center. Shift on. There's that slow, tantalizing curveball at 72. Boy, he just uses that as a setup pitch. And then he pumps the 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Now, did you see Utley moving over to second base? And there's a reason behind that. Because now with 2 strikes, Utley was right here. He moves over here with 2 strikes because the hitter, getting a little defensive, he might fight one off and dribble one this way rather than being aggressive early in the count.
Just missed that one. A high fly ball to center, carrying well, but Peterson tracks it down for the second out. Now that fact that Peterson made the catch takes me back to the All-Star break last year. Remember, against the Dodgers, and the ball was at Upton and hit the ball to straightaway center field, and Peterson went back, and it was a total highway robbery catch.
That's right.
And the Padres would have won the game. And it was there that the whole season turned around. The Padres were right around 500. Bud Black then got fired. And Peterson's catch was instrumental in a very important turning point for the San Diego season. 2 away to Alexei Ramirez, who has grounded out and struck out. I mean, it looked to be a game winner off the bat of Upton. I think it was high enough to be a home run. I know our crack crew has that one ready to
they're on it.
View, and we'll see a painful play against the Padres last year. A brilliant one by Peterson. Ramirez chases 1 and 2.
There's the old cambio changeup from Clayton Kershaw. Even though it's 11-0, he is still working on his craft, trying to make good quality pitches.
Saw a fly ball back of the plate, and Ellis won't have a play. That gives us a chance to go back to that midseason play by Peterson. Upton, the hitter. He thought it was a home run. Oh, it wasn't long enough for a home run, but talk about a daring play, knowing he was going to run full speed right into the wall. And the Dodgers would win on the Peterson play. He doesn't make that catch. It was a Padre victory.
Yep.
And another strikeout. 9 in the game for Kershaw. He has been mid-season masterful. 7 complete, a 1-hit shutout for Kershaw. 9 strikeouts.
Ball game right now. Dodgers over the Padres, top of the 8th inning. Mark Sweeney, Mike Pomeranz. We're working on Padres Live, the post-game show, which will be brought to you by Cox Communications. I know the score is certainly not where any Padres fan wants it to be, but you can't deny what a wonderful and special day opening day is.
Well, Mike, first of all, it's a beautiful ballpark, but we also get to see the energy in the building. It never gets old from a player's perspective. This is the start of the regular season. It's a good start, obviously, to know that you got the energy in the building, but tonight is all about the fans and the start of baseball season. It's in the air. I love it.
Great to see so many smiles. We'll get you back up to Dick Enberg, Mark Grant. Guys, when we see you on the post-game show, you'll hear from Andy Green, his thoughts on his first opening day as a major league manager, and we'll break down what has been the story of the game, and of course that is Clayton Kershaw. So we'll see you after the final out.
All right, Mike and Mark will be with you. Post-game coming up right after the final out as Justin Turner runs it right over the third base bag into left field. And the redhead from Cal State Fullerton is into second base, takes a turn and makes sure that Upton can dig it out. And he's in scoring position as Perdomo, giving up 3 runs in the last inning, is greeted by Turner's second double of the game.
Looked like a high split finger fastball from Perdomo, and Turner getting his hands in nicely, keeping it fair. A full dive from Solarte, not going to happen on that one. Well, with the game out of reach like this in the 8th, 11-0, you just want things to happen quickly, and hopefully nobody gets hurt in a game like this. Just left the split finger up in the zone, and Justin Turner made him pay, I should say.
Half a dozen doubles in the mixture of 14 Dodger hits. Gonzalez with 2 RBI singles, a walk, scored a run, and was out on a hard ground ball deep into second base, actually shallow right field, into the shift. No shift here with a man at second.
So this is where, as a pitcher, no matter what has happened previously to this next pitch, you have to bear down. There's an RBI out there. Adrian Gonzalez wants to get RBIs, right? I mean, it's a game where you pad your stats. Well, Perdomo's trying to counter that.
And a ground ball up the middle. Another base hit for Gonzalez. And here comes Turner around third to score. It's 12-0 Dodgers. The third RBI single for Adrian Gonzalez. Not a bad start, just as Gonzalez ripped out of the starting blocks last year using the home run ball. He's reduced it to RBI singles this year.
Four-seam fastball just catching too much of the plate. Wouldn't have been a bad idea to go soft against Adrian, but you know, I'll never question a pitch. It's just the location of the pitch. You know, a good located fastball might have been a different story. Doesn't mean you can't throw a fastball by a guy or to a guy if he's a good fastball hitter.
So Chase Utley and Adrian Gonzalez, the right side of the Dodger infield, leading the way, each with 3 hits. Gonzalez with 3 RBIs and Utley with 2. Puig Been on base the last 3 times after striking out against starter Tyson Ross in the first inning. Has walked, hit by a pitch and scored, singled and scored.
Well, his swing really looks funky.
It does.
It doesn't look fluid. It's almost as if it's a 2 or 3 part swing.
Fouls it back. There was some nice news out of Pittsburgh this morning that Corey Lukey made the 25-man roster with the Pittsburgh Pirates after 2 Tommy John surgeries, out of baseball 3 years, and he's making a comeback and made the Pittsburgh final roster with the left-hander.
He's a kid you root for.
Yeah.
Right, Dick? Good kid, good egg. We wish him well, except when he pitches against the Padres. Hope he's backing up third quite a bit.
You could probably show him how to do that.
Exactly. Nicely done, Professor.
That ball gets away, and Gonzalez can trot to second base on the wild pitch.
I will gladly give him lessons on that if it means a Padre victory.
And how about the mystery of Edinson Volquez continues? We always saw his great stuff here, and you could never figure him out. How can he not win? He just got himself in trouble. All he does is he becomes the opening pitcher in the World Series. He opens last night, what, 7 innings, no runs, 2 hits.
He was lights out, wasn't he?
Goodness.
You know, I think when you're with a team like the Kansas City Royals, and we can go on and on about the world champion, but I think that breeds confidence in a pitcher when you know you have a team like that behind you and that's going to battle and grind at bats and pitch for a team that you know is going to keep you in a game, if not take the lead and keep that lead.
That one's hit well to right center field, and Jay trying to track it down, can't get there. Off the right center field wall, Gonzalez can score. Look at Puig racing toward third. The throw, not in time, and it gets away. And here comes Puig to score, and that just rubs a little salt in the wound as it's now a football 14-0 lead for the Dodgers. That'll be a triple and a throwing error.
Oy vey. Solarte was on the home plate side of third base. The ball leaks on the outfield side. No chance of even getting a glove on. You can see the frustration in Derek Norris's face as Puig scores. Wheels came off a while ago, but
and Andy Green on a mercy mission to get Perdomo. A young man makes his major league debut, and he's rocked for 6 runs and 6 hits in an inning plus. Colin Ray, starter and figures to be in the rotation, going to get some work from the bullpen today. presents Padres Baseball. Brought to you by Petco, your complete pet store. And by your San Diego Lexus dealers. Well, the combination of sensational pitching by the classy Clayton Kershaw, a one-hitter, no runs, and a 14-run attack for the Dodgers. As Colin Ray comes in to try to throw some water on the fire, as the Dodgers have 14 runs and 16 hits. Ray last year, 6 games, all as a starter.
And Ray earning a spot in the rotation. So with the day off, travel day to Colorado on Thursday, it gives him an extra day. And as you mentioned, Dick, it's almost like a bullpen day for him. Maybe a little early on that bullpen day, but plenty of time. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that in between this outing and when he's going to toe the slab for a start.
Well, it's not the kind of stat. Well, Jabari Blash takes over for Kemp in right field and probably inserted into the 9th spot in the batting order. We'll check on that. Ray working to Trace Thompson, who entered the game in the 7th inning and doubled in a run and scored.
Well, there's your tomorrow night starter, James Shields, like a prize fighter. He's got the hoodie on. He's got the knuckles wrapped, putting on the foil coach.
Yeah, the way these Dodgers are throwing punches, you better be ready with that defense. Counter. Hook the body with that left hook, cross with the right. Really, digging into the record book to see if this is the worst shellacking the Padres have had to absorb on opening day. There's a line drive into the right field corner. That's trouble, and it is a foul ball, just foul, as Blash gets it in. Well, back in the inaugural year in the big leagues for the Padres in 1969, the Dodgers on opening day won 14-0. So deja vu. It's taken 48 seasons. Dodgers, by the way, this is their 59th year in Los Angeles and moving west from Brooklyn. And it's amazing that they've not made it to a World Series in so long. A roller that
let it go.
Does kick foul.
I was going to say, what in the Willie Mays Hayes is going on with that swing?
Does that surprise you? The Dodgers haven't been in the World Series since 1988, 28 years.
I know. Yeah.
With all the talent, all the money, all the glory. In the playoffs, but not the World Series.
Oral Hershiser and company beating the Oakland Athletics.
4-1 in that 88 series.
That was the year that I believe the Dodgers was all pitching. They hit like 250 as a club, 247. They didn't have the sticks, the lumber. You know, the 3-run shot wasn't part of their game. It was all pitching.
Who else was on that staff for Tommy Lasorda?
Oral Hershiser. I want to say, was Tim Leary on that team? Tim Belcher, I stand corrected. Tim Belcher.
Bob Welch, would he have been on that team?
Might have been. We'd have to check on that. Number 35, God rest his soul.
Jock Peterson, the hitter. Ray walking the first man that he faces, Thompson. Peterson has one of the 16 hits, an RBI double back in the 6th inning. Shift on. And he beats the shift going to left center field. Jay trying to cut it off and does get to the ball, but meanwhile racing is Thompson to second, and another Dodger double. Their 7th double and a triple for Puig, the other extra base hit. So Ray greeted a walk and a double.
Well, I've said it before, when it rains it pours. Also,
this is an El Nino in baseball.
Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. And the Dodgers just keep on spanking out the hits.
Yeah, maybe they're using up their complement for the 3-game series. Is that half full enough for you?
I got you.
Okay. Getting a little dour over there on me now. Come on.
It's all good. Hey, the sun will come up tomorrow. That's what Annie said.
You bet you did.
And then you're back to 1-1. You know, James Shields throws a gem. You're back to 500.
Yeah, they just let them wear themselves out today. Huh? A.J. Ellis and bouncing single against a drawn-in infield and knocked in 2 runs. He also has walked 1 for 3. Kiki Hernandez in the on-deck circle. Looks as if he's going to bat for Kershaw. New manager Dave Roberts is just seeing just enough of that Kershaw. I mean, get him out of there.
Yeah, he needs to make a change. Bob Guerin, the bench coach on the right. San Diegan.
Falling behind the hitter Ellis 3-1.
Here's the former Oakland Athletic manager, coach for Terry Collins in New York. Bob Guerin, former catcher.
Bouncer to the left side, infield back, run will scored. Ramirez throws out Ellis, so Ellis with 3 RBIs on a chopping single and a ground out. It's now 15-0. This stands to be the worst ever opening effort by the Padres. And we'll bring up Kiki Hernandez to hit for Kershaw. Peterson winds up at third, and Hernandez fouls it away. Hernandez just 24, Puerto Rico. Came up to the big leagues 2 years ago with Houston, played a bit with Miami, and he punches that foul. With the Dodgers last year, and a couple hundred at bats, hit .307, 7 homers. Dodgers got him in the D. Gordon trade going to Miami.
Hey, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. She's got the Cracker Jack and now going home with a souvenir.
High pop up on the right side. Myers calls off Spangenberg. And there's 2 away.
Well, it's time to revisit the keys, Professor. And you can get the red pen out.
No, I'm not. I'm going to give you a week.
Giving me a mulligan today?
Well, you know, you just can't jump into the finals, you know, on the first day. You don't. I never gave an exam the first day of class. Okay, I'll be checking you out in Philadelphia, though.
Thanks for giving me a little bit of leeway on that. You're fair, and I appreciate that.
Well,
Honda dealers of San Diego County.
Let's see. John Kershaw early. That didn't work, so I can't give you a real good grade on that. Yeah, a couple of errors.
Go ahead, I can take it.
I'm going to give you a W.
Withdrawal from the class?
Yeah. And they get him at first place. Ramirez with a good play to deny Chase Utley his 4th hit of the game. But the Dodgers come up with 4 more in the top of the 8th inning and have a very impressive 15-0 lead.
All-Star Week is coming to San Diego this July 8th through the 12th. So register now for the chance to purchase tickets to allstargame.com. Go to allstargame.com and remember that registration ends April 20th. So once again, July 8th through the 12th. Baseball World here in San Diego. Register at allstargame.com. It's going to be awesome.
Jan Solarte to start the 8th inning against the new pitcher Lewis Coleman, the former Kansas City Royal, and Dave Roberts showing a sense of timing. It's Coleman's 30th birthday today, so he's out there on the hill getting a chance to pitch for his new team. The last 5 seasons in Kansas City in the bullpen, he was 6-4 with a 3.20 ERA.
Boy, he really throws across his body,
doesn't he, though? Solarte down into the souvenir corner with that, with a lot of changes for the Dodgers. Culberson comes in at third. Seager and Utley stay in the middle of the diamond. Van Slyke now for Gonzalez at first base. Hernandez in left, and Thompson moves over to right for Puig. Rally cap mania.
Yeah.
How about Clayton Kershaw? He starts the season on 1 hit, a single. We're going to go back and revisit that single. Walked 1 and struck out 9, and finished his day retiring the last 13 batters that he faced. There are the changes for you in the Dodger defense. That ball, solid shot to right field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Quickly fielded by Thompson, but into second base with a ringing double. The second hit of the afternoon evening as Jan Solarte throws it. And welcomes Lewis Coleman with that hit as the Padres try to break through this shutout bid of 15-0.
That guy's fired up. Coleman hangs the breaking ball, and when you do that to the left-handed hitter, first of all, keeping it fair is key, and then rattling off the wall turns into a double for Yangervis Solarte.
Solarte with a walk, a line out, and a double. And here's Melvin Upton, soft line out to short, and a strikeout. High fly ball to straightaway center. Peterson waiting for it to come down. 1 away. And that'll take it to Corey Spangenberg. He was grounded out and struck out. And for the Padres just to get a few hits together and score a few runs here to finish the day in positive note. See if they can come up with a timely hit or two. Up the middle, Utley on the run, does get Spangenberg by a half step for the second out, with Solarte motoring over to third. 2 outs. And Jabari Blash will make his major league debut. Jabari Blash, another of the Rule 5s by the Padres, had a long ball hitting spring with 4 monster home runs and made the club. 6'5", 235 pounds. Started his baseball career as a serious player very late as a teenager. He played Little League ball and then admitted he just played lazily, didn't really care, and his mom got on him and said, hey, you've got some talent, let's go back to work. Oakland organization. Padres a Rule 5 draft, which means they have to keep him for the entire year or give him back to the Oakland A's, forfeiting $25,000. 2-1. St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands. 26 years young. Baseball young.
Sliders. I mean, you know what? With as Kevin Quackenbush gets ready to work an inning with the Dodgers in Arizona, even if they were back in Florida, Vero Beach, the word travels quickly about how to pitch to Jabari Blash. So a heavy dose of sliders from Coleman to Blash.
Three and two, and the fastball at 90. Some of the social media fans have already tagged his long home runs as blastoffs. That'd be nice to see one here. Instead, ball four. He did walk a lot in the spring as well. So first and third for the Padres against Coleman in the 8th inning. And the top of the order, John Jay.
Well, remember earlier I was talking about Coleman throwing across his body. Well, his pivot foot is right there. And where does he end up? Look at the spot right here where he's ending up. So he's throwing across his body. You're going to see his name and number coming this way as a hitter. Watch how he throws across his body right there.
Side wheels that went in for a strike.
Can be tough on the arm at times, on the shoulder, on the elbow. And as a right-handed hitter, he's coming right at that hip pocket, that left hip pocket.
Played for some pretty good college teams at LSU.
See where his foot is over towards first base, and he ends up with his landing foot over towards the third base side. Stays closed.
Inside, 2-1. Jay with the only base knock against Clayton Kershaw, who worked a near perfect 7 innings today. 1 walk, 1 base hit. Jay single to left field. Pops him up. Down from first comes Van Slyke. The glove, the out, and the Padres come up empty in the 8th. On we go. Yep, 15-0. And the Carl's Jr. star of the game, no doubter. Clayton Kershaw opens the season. What a brilliant line. 7 innings, no runs, 1 single, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. Dominating by the 3-time Cy Young Award winner Clayton Kershaw, our Carl Jr. star of the game. Well, the bad news is he still got the great stuff, but the good news for opponents of the Dodgers, they don't have to face Zach Greinke the next day.
Yeah. Now with the Arizona Diamondbacks still in the division, and Kevin Quackenbush now gets an inning of work. There you see the numbers for Kevin last year. 57 times out on the hill.
Faces Corey Seager, the young shortstop. Won't be 22 until later this month. He's got an RBI double the first time, struck out, a hard ground ball out to short, a sacrifice fly, and a ground out to first. A couple of RBIs for Seager. I think this could be a 20 home run shortstop. Quackenbush following Tyson Ross, Ryan Buchter, Luis Perdomo, Colin Ray, and now the Quackmeister in the 9th.
I love that.
Tracks that curveball and fouls it away.
Ah, how precious is that? Been there, done that. Enjoy it while they're that age. It goes by quickly.
Boy, doesn't it? Next thing you know, he's going to be asking for the car keys.
Yeah.
Foul tip into the glove of catcher Derek Norris. And the count is 1-2. Yimi Garcia, right-hander, throwing in the Dodger pen. To the left side, where Solarte on 2 hops throws out Seager. First out here in the 9th. 44,317 a sellout here on opening day at Petco Park. Some of the fans understandably discouraged, heading home and hoping for better things tomorrow.
Well, James Shields on the hill tomorrow against these same Dodgers.
Scott Kazmir, the left-hander, one of the free agent signees for the Dodgers to be on the hill for LA. Scott Van Slyke batting for the first time. Justin Turner hitting in this spot, had a couple of doubles, scored a couple of runs. It's like one of those handyman roles for a baseball player. He can play the outfield, play first base as he's been inserted today, and hit you a home run now and then. Now 29 years of age. Last year with the Dodgers, former son of Andy Van Slyke, Pittsburgh Pirate outfielder. Had a couple hundred at bats, 6 home runs. Nice. He looks at strike 3. Didn't like the call, but there's 2 away.
Good 12-6 curveball from Kevin Quackenbush. He's got the fastball, the curveball, and the changeup. And there it is, nose to toes. Nice frame job by Derek Norris. And our Nissan Fox Tracks indicates that it was in fact a strike.
Charlie Culberson batting in the cleanup spot. Adrian Gonzalez did his usual damage against his former teammates. Up 5 times, on base 4 times, 3 singles, 3 RBIs, and he walked and scored a couple of runs.
Nice.
Tyson Ross and Clayton Kershaw through 5 innings. The Dodgers had a 3-0 lead, and then everything exploded against the Padres. 5 in the 6th for LA, 3 more in the 7th, 4 more in the 8th. And a swing and a miss. A couple of strikeouts for Kevin Quackenbush. Padres coming up. Last call. Down by 15. Manager Dave Roberts goes to the bullpen. Yimi Garcia had a solid year out of the pen for Los Angeles last year. In fact, his walks and hits for innings pitched among the top 5 in the National League. In fact, #1 was his partner out there, Kenley Jansen. Hunter Strickland of San Francisco, Frankie Rodriguez, Milwaukee, Joaquin Benoit for the Padres, and then Yimi Garcia. Just didn't allow many base runners.
And we talk about bridging that gap to the closer. Well, no closer tonight for the Friar faithful. Yes, the Brown is back, and the Shark rally cap is good and ready to go. But it's always nice to have that gap, that bridging gap of a guy like Garcia with that type of arm, Dick. The numbers are great, and the fewer base runners, the better. No free passes.
25-year-old from the Dominican Republic. Derek Norris has flied out all 3 at bats. 91 on the first fastball from Garcia. Oh, 2. Because of the pitching of Kershaw, not a lot of drama in our first pick the stick contest.
No.
Anyone take Solarte? He's the only one with plus points.
I don't know. I'd have to.
Solarte with 3 points. Everyone else 0 or minus. Have to check on that. Maybe I could change my vote just to get off to a good start this year. I took Kemp and he struck out twice, so I'm a -2 right off the bat.
At even. John Jay struck out the first at bat and then singled. So I'm at 0.
And Norris goes down swinging. 1 away. Travis Jankowski batting for the first time, hitting in Matt Kemp's spot. Now the view has changed here at Petco Park. Now in its 13th year, the high rises, skyscrapers surrounding. Oh, what a development. What this has done for our great city.
No question. Boy, Dick, you just mentioned it. 13 years now here at this building. It is unbelievable how quickly time goes.
Having breakfast every 20 minutes, man.
Yeah.
Another day's gone by. A beautiful library. I have a terrific baseball section there in that.
I've been there. I've seen it.
In fact, I have some books I should be donating to them. You know, so others can enjoy them.
Give
baseball
back.
books.
Give, Professor.
Absolutely.
Who says that Padre fans and Dodger fans can't coexist? We just saw it right there.
And happy. How to play.
Well, stick around after this one ends. Padres Live, the postgame show. Mike Pomerantz and Mark Sweeney did do such a great job on that show, talking about Tyson Ross, Clayton Kershaw versus Matt Kemp. New skipper Andy Green in his press conference, and just a whole recap of today's day at Petco Park.
Jankowski fouls it away. You know what the highlight for the Padres was today?
What was that?
Before the game, left-hander on the mound,
Nice.
Cy Young Award winner Randy Jones fires it in there.
And it was a sinker down and away.
40th anniversary of his Cy Young season. Randy Jones.
I love RJ. Number 35, his number retired here at Petco Park.
That's a nice touch that on his 40th anniversary year, Jones gets to throw the ceremonial first pitch.
Beautiful.
He could dazzle you with that 83-mile-an-hour fastball.
Who was it that RJ told me? Oh, Pete Rose. He gave Pete Rose fits that, you know, Rose being a switch hitter.
Yeah.
He batted left-handed against Randy to counter the sinker rather than going down and away and from the right side. Pete Rose, he tied him up in fits so many times that he said, heck with it, I'm going up to the left side against the lefty.
And he could get his day's work done in very tidy time. Line foul.
My favorite story, Jim Cott, Randy Jones hook up at then San Diego Stadium. 7:05 game. And I swear on my children, you can look it up. Jim Cott and Randy Jones had post-game plans for, I don't know, it was either dinner or a play or something, maybe at La Jolla Playhouse. Who knows? But they were both in their seats at 9 o'clock for the show.
An hour-and-a-half game.
Yep.
Huh? Isn't that terrific?
Yep.
Yeah, the fans that patiently waited to the final out, rewarded with a souvenir. Hopefully that didn't carry him off someone else. And there is a stir down there behind the Dodger dugout. The fan being helped up the aisleway.
Tell you, they got to put screens up, huh?
Well, they have extended the screens here, by the way. We should have mentioned that earlier. They've moved them down closer to the edge of the dugout, and a new screening, high fiber that you can apparently see through better than the old netting. 2-2.
Ooh, Will Myers almost got that on deck. And that's on the pull side.
Jankowski all over the place.
Look out, Will. You know, they say guys are foul pole to foul pole offensively. Well, Jankowski dugout to dugout.
Finally puts one in play and drops a single into shallow left field. Padres' third hit of the game. Jankowski hitting 1,000 on the season.
He battled over the Dodger dugout into the Padre dugout and then lost one, a little soft serve to shallow left field.
So one out brings up Will Myers. A couple of flies to center and a strikeout for the Padre first baseman. You know, you almost knew this was going to be the Dodger day, you know, just before the game even started, because it is the Los Angeles day in history. Because on this April 4th in 1850, LA became the incorporated city.
No
this
kidding.
was the birthday.
Did not know
Los
that.
Angeles. So, you know, you're fighting a lot of history there.
Yeah. You'd have to spoil the party tomorrow, though.
Absolutely.
1850, huh?
Well, you had the gold rush of '49, and some of those folks filtered down to this little place in LA. Pretty nice view. They didn't realize they missed San Diego.
Yeah.
2-1. Myers and the Padres as the sun sets on San Diego, trying to get at least a run on the board before the game comes to an end. 2-2. Got away with a high changeup.
Yeah. There are hanging breaking balls, and then there are breaking balls that are up and out of the zone. Just can't get on top of it.
Hubba hubba.
Hey, they're hanging in there. Gotta love it.
And sails all the way to the top tier, but muffed by a fan and drops down to some eager hands in the second deck. Up the middle, skips by the shift, and on to third goes Jankowski. Myers with his first hit of the year. Runners at the corners with one out here in the bottom of the ninth. 4 hits in the game for San Diego. Brings up Alexei Ramirez.
Even though it's a blowout, you don't give away at bats. You battle any way you can to try to get on base. And Will Myers does a nice job of spanking that ball to the right side of second base, not trying to pull it.
Ramirez grounded out his first at bat and struck out the last 2 times. Hang in there, young man. There's always hope.
He's got that rally towel working.
Ramirez trying to get 3 with 1 swing. With the White Sox, 8 years, averaged nearly 14 homers a year. Last year with 10. But productive 10, not 10.62. He's one of those guys like Kemp. He doesn't want to be out of the lineup. He wants to play every day. Off the fist, saw fly ball to the first baseman, and Van Slyke squeezes the second out. Down to the final out, Jan Solarte. A walk and a double and a line out. He's the one Padre that has made good contact and has some results today. So tomorrow night, 6:30 for our pregame show. James Shields against Scott Kazmir. Wednesday, it's a 5:30 pregame, 6 o'clock game with Kashner dueling Kenta Maeda, a slim Japanese right-hander acquired by the Dodgers. And Wednesday night, of course, college night. Always great to see the many college fans. Discount tickets as low as $10. Some are still available.
Yeah, let's see some Aztecs, some Toreros, some Tritons, some Griffins, some, let's see, what's Southwestern College?
Sea Lions.
Sea Lions from Point Loma. Yeah, there you go.
Cal State Marcos.
Oh, yeah, they're the Broncos?
Cougars.
Oh, hopefully some Cougars as well.
Fly ball to left. This should do it. Waiting for it to come down is Hernandez, and the Dodgers spank the Padres 15-0. That's it. The final score. First game of the year. All Dodgers, all Kershaw. 15 runs, 17 hits, and impressive 15-0 win. Padres Live is next. Mike Pomerantz, what's up?
Well, Dick, Mark, we've got a full slate for you. We're going to talk about Tyson Ross, what went wrong with his night. You'll hear about Matt Kemp and his battle against Clayton Kershaw. Perhaps most importantly, you're going to hear from the Padres' new manager, Andy Green. All that and more in moments.